Have you ever wondered if it's possible to truly make up for a terrible mistake? Is there a way to be good again? Well, that's the heavy question at the very heart of Khaled Hosseini's masterpiece, The Kite Runner. We're going to dive into this incredible story of deep, deep betrayal and the unbelievably long and painful road to redemption.
This one line, it really captures the soul of the entire novel. It perfectly sets up this central idea that the past is never really past. It's more like a ghost that follows you, that haunts every single moment of your present. It doesn't matter how far you run, from Kabul all the way to California, you just can't escape it.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in 1970s Afghanistan, a time of relative peace, and we meet two young boys, Amir and Hassan. To look at them, you'd think they were brothers. They're completely inseparable. But underneath it all, there's this invisible line, this social chasm that they are absolutely forbidden to cross.
Their whole relationship is just a giant paradox. On paper, it's pretty clear-cut. Amir is a Pashtun from the dominant wealthy class, and Hassan is a Hazara, a servant from a persecuted minority, master and servant. And yet, their history is so tangled up, so deep, it feels like they are brothers. But it's a bond that Amir, even as a little kid, just can't bring himself to fully admit.
A big part of the problem is Amir's father, Baba. He's this larger-than-life figure, a man everyone looks up to. But to Amir, who'd rather read a book than play soccer, Baba's love feels like something he has to earn. And that insecurity just festers into this really ugly jealousy of Hassan, who's loyal and brave and gets Baba's approval without even seeming to try. Oof, that right there tells you everything you need to know about Amir's mindset. This jealousy runs so deep that when Baba does this incredible act of kindness, paying for surgery to fix Hassan's cleft lip, Amir can't see it as a gift. No, to him, it's just another piece of his father's love being given away to someone else, a piece he's convinced he can never have. And if that wasn't complicated enough, then there's Asif. This kid is way more than just a bully. He's basically all the violent prejudice and hatred of their society rolled into one terrifying teenager with a pair of brass knuckles. He's a dark cloud on the horizon, and he's about to shatter their whole world. So all this tension, the jealousy, the social divide, the looming threat of Asif, it all comes to a boiling point during the annual winter kite fighting tournament. For Amir, this is way more than just a game. This is his shot. His one chance to finally win the only prize he's ever wanted, to see his father, Baba, actually be proud of him. And you know what? He does it. Amir actually wins. He's the champion. The last kite, the blue one, is cut, and Hassan, who's the best kite runner in the entire city, takes off to get it for him. He even yells back that famous line, "For you, 1,000 times over." This should be the greatest moment of Amir's life. It should be. But that triumph just evaporates. Amir finds Hassan in an alley, trapped by Asif and his friends. Asif wants the blue kite, and when Hassan refuses, he attacks him. And from the shadows, Amir just watches, frozen, as Asif poisons Hassan's loyalty with these absolutely cruel words, trying to tear apart their bond. And in that single, awful moment, Amir makes a choice. He runs. He leaves Hassan there. He chooses the kite, that symbol of his father's approval, over his friend. He witnesses something horrific and does absolutely nothing. This one act of cowardice becomes the sin that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Baba is so proud, he throws this huge party. But for Amir, it's pure torture. The gifts feel worthless, tainted. He calls them blood money. Every single present is just another screaming reminder of the terrible price Hassan paid for that victory. And from that day on, the guilt creates a gap between them that can never be closed. The guilt is just eating him alive, so much so that he can't even stand to look at Hassan. So he does something truly unforgivable. He frames Hassan for stealing, forcing him and his father to leave forever. And almost immediately after this personal tragedy, a national one strikes. The Soviets invade, and Amir and Baba are forced to flee Afghanistan, starting over as refugees in America. And their new life in Fremont, California, is a total role reversal. Baba, who is like a king in Kabul, is now a shadow of his former self, working at a gas station, clinging to his pride. But for Amir? Well, for Amir, America's an escape. It's a clean slate, a place where he can finally try to bury the memory of that boy hiding in the alley. This quote, man, it just says everything about Baba's character.
Even when he's really struggling, when he's offered food stamps, his pride is just too immense. He refuses to take what he calls free money. That fierce, powerful independence that made him a legend in Kabul is still there, even as his new life and failing health chip away at him.
Okay, let's fast forward a bit. Years go by. Amir gets his degree, marries a wonderful woman named Soraya, and even becomes a successful writer. He's built a new life. He's got the American dream. And then, one day in 2001, the phone rings. And that one single call from Pakistan is about to bring his carefully constructed world crashing down.
It's Rahim Khan on the line. He was always more of a father to Amir than Baba ever was. And he knows. He knows everything. And with just 6 words, he shatters 20 years of denial. There is a way to be good again. It's an offer, a chance at redemption that forces Amir to finally turn around and face the ghosts he's been running from his entire life.
So Amir goes. He travels to Pakistan, right on the border of his homeland. And the moment he gets there, boom, the memories just come rushing back. He can almost smell the kebabs, hear the noise of the market, feel the joy of buying a kite from old Saifo. He's flooded with memories of a vibrant, living Kabul, a Kabul that exists only in his head.
Because the reality is a brutal slap in the face. His guide's words just cut him to the core. The Afghanistan he knew, the one filled with music and kites and laughter, it's gone. Wiped out by the Taliban. All the joy, the culture, has just been erased. Well, this is where Rahim Khan drops 2 massive bombshells that completely shatter Amir's world. First, Hassan was never just his friend, he was his half-brother, Baba's secret, illegitimate son. And second, Hassan and his wife were murdered by the Taliban, leaving their young son, Sohrab, all alone as an orphan in Kabul. And just like that, the path to being good again becomes terrifyingly clear. He has to go back. He has to save his nephew.
So this mission to save Sohrab, it really becomes a mission for Amir to save himself. But let's be clear, this isn't some Hollywood hero story where he swoops in and saves the day. No, this journey back into the heart of his broken country is going to be brutal, it's going to be dangerous, and it's a deeply personal reckoning.
And in the most horrifying twist you could imagine, the Taliban official holding Sohrab captive is none other than Asif, his childhood nightmare, all grown up. The final confrontation isn't some epic battle. It's just a savage, one-sided beating. Asif beats Amir nearly to death, and in a way, it's a punishment Amir feels he deserves. He's finally taking the hits he should have taken for Hassan in that alley all those years ago.
But rescuing Sohrab is only the first step. Getting him out of Afghanistan is one thing, healing him is another. The boy is so deeply traumatized, and the process of adopting him and bringing him to America is an absolute nightmare of bureaucracy and setbacks. Amir quickly learns that redemption isn't one big, brave act. It's the slow, patient, often thankless work of helping to mend a shattered soul.
Yeah, there's no perfect happy ending here, all tied up in a neat bow. Sohrab is so traumatized he doesn't speak for an entire year. But then, one day, in a park in California, Amir buys a kite. And as he runs it for Sohrab, he finds himself yelling the same words Hassan yelled to him, "For you, 1,000 times over." And he sees it, the tiniest hint of a smile on Sohrab's face. And that's the whole point. Redemption isn't a big, flashy moment. It's quiet. It's slow. It's just the feeling of pain, finally, quietly, packing its bags and leaving in the middle of the night.